You finish up work or studying for the day, eager to get back home and relax. Maybe you can muster up just enough energy to get started on that side hustle you always think about, or cram in that last review before your big test tomorrow. But you need a little break. After all, you deserve it. You worked so hard today. You hop onto YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, your social media app of choice to get that much needed relaxation. And next thing you know, your cursor magically glides towards the suggested feed and clicks on a video that you've already seen 100 times. You enter the deep, dark realms of the YouTube abyss and cap your 4-hour-long binge fest break with a Kiers Cascade video posted 6 years ago about how black holes could delete the entire universe. What the f am I doing right now? Exactly. Exactly. We have all been there, and whether you sat down to do something productive or not, time all seems to blend together in a way that makes you think, how the hell did I just spend 4 hours watching YouTube or watching that 120 TikToks in a row? You can thank artificial intelligence for this beautiful cycle that I like to call the social media vortex. Artificial intelligence may just be the future of technology, probably the most important technological innovation made in the last century, maybe even ever in human history. As I'm sure you've already heard with the hundreds of headlines per day about robotics advancements, social media algorithms, or AI stocks being the next gold mine like internet stocks were during the dot-com era, blah 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 blah. Whether or not any of this is true isn't the point of this video. I go into all kinds of cool AI tech on this channel, as you may already know if you are a regular viewer, but this video is different. As a full-time systems engineer, electrical engineer by degree, and as someone who really enjoys learning about the latest tech, financial, economic news in my spare time, I understand the importance and the potentially revolutionary implications of artificial intelligence. But I also acknowledge that there are some practical aspects of AI that impact my life on a daily basis right now. Not just some theoretical BS that we can watch a video on and say, oh, cool. I think there are many aspects of AI that are impacting our lives in a negative way today. And when I say the term negative, that could come in many different forms. Maybe it's stopping you from making progress towards that life that you've been striving for, or pushing information that may not even be true, or maybe just detracting from your time to relax. Here's 4 ways that AI is taking away from your life right now. We are stupid and should expect to be wiped out. Most humans will be dead. Top CEOs say AI will destroy humanity within 5 to 10 years. Here's what to do right. No, this is obviously not one of the reasons we'll discuss today. I don't mean to be facetious, because there are serious concerns about AI, and albeit from some very smart people. Legendary physicist Stephen Hawking once said, success in creating effective AI could be the biggest event in the history of our civilization, or the worst. So we cannot know if we will be infinitely helped by AI or ignored by it and sidelined or conceivably destroyed by it. Acknowledgement done. On to the real list. We all know the most valuable asset that any human has is time. It's limited, at least for now, and unfortunately seems to go by faster and faster as we grow older. And you can bet us Gen Zers like to use a lot of that time on our screens. On average, up to 9 hours of screen time per day, with nearly half of that spent on social media. Business of Apps reports that Gen Z averages a whopping 4 hours and 15 minutes per day on social media. And don't you worry, I didn't forget about you millennials. You guys aren't out of the woods yet either. 3.7 hours a day on your smartphone, 1 hour over Gen X and 2 over the baby boomers. So clearly a lot of time is spent on social media, but why is that a bad thing? Well, AI is good. Really good at one particular thing, and that's retention. You see, a social media algorithm isn't just some made-up term used by psychologists to try to scare and guilt trip you from using apps less. Actually, they are used intensively on a massive scale by the largest corporations. Meta, Google, Twitter, all the parent companies that own those social media apps you use every day to drive revenue. Think about it. The longer you spend your valuable time scrolling through Instagram and looking through TikTok, the more potential revenue that advertisers will make by advertising on those platforms. And thus, the more money those large corporations will make. Their whole business model is based on you spending your time on their apps. So maximizing profits is directly equivalent to the amount of time that they can steal from you on a daily basis. And that's exactly what social media algorithms have become so proficient at. Whether you like it or not, AI learns from your browsing history and uses that data to show you stuff that you will probably also like next. You know those fat terms and conditions pages that you have to accept before using the app? Well, yeah, somewhere in there you agree to let the app track your data. And with that data, they can better personalize your experience. So no wonder when you go to take that quick little break while you are studying for your test or preparing for tomorrow's presentation or trying to start that side hustle you always wanted to, somehow you find yourself in this endless loop. The content is just so good you can't stop. Oh, and good luck even when you do take that break. Research shows that it takes around 23 minutes to regain focus after a mere 1 minute TikTok scroll. What's the solution? Well, there's plenty of apps out there that don't allow you to get sucked into the social media vortex in the first place. I've always been a YouTube guy, so the one that I use is Unhook, which allows you to remove all those goddamn distractions all over the YouTube page. You can't rob my time if I can't see your recommendations. And if your intention is to enter the social media vortex on your little break, then all power to you. This is more for productivity and to avoid entering the vortex in the first place. After all, it's the bane of all productivity. Embedded bias will be a short and easy one. AI was built by humans. Humans have unintentional biases, and therefore AI will naturally inherit those unintentional biases. Think about it. How does AI know what it knows? How does GPT-3 know the answers to all your great questions? And how does social media know the exact content to push you when you are stuck in the vortex? When large language models like GPT-3 are trained, they are trained using massive datasets. These datasets contain work that is in a vast majority produced by humans. That's why all these artists across the web are getting pissed that AI is using their original work to generate original content. These AI-driven applications are trained using data that is produced by humans. And unfortunately, no matter how hard you or I try, we just can't operate without some bias. Our brains are hardwired in a way that makes it impossible. Past experiences and natural heuristics shape the way our brain operates and thus impacts the decisions we make. What seems unbiased to a writer that leans one way may seem like complete and utter manipulation to someone that leans the other way. In the AI that we have today, all of the AI that we rely on to point us in the right direction, to the content that we want to consume next, like Pac-Man running after those blue ghosts, it's all based on biased information. Therefore, you are potentially consuming information that may lead you to become even more biased. In American politics, for example, the gap in ideologies between the two major parties has been growing for the last 50 years and has exploded in the last 10 in particular. And I think that we can all agree that the polarizing nature of social media has played a role, maybe even a significant one. When surveyed in 2020, nearly 2/3 of American adults said that social media has a mostly negative effect on the way things are going in the country today. In other words, they are being pushed to the deep, dark corners of consumable media or are being pushed information that they don't necessarily agree with. In either case, this is polarization at its finest. Not many tips here from do your due diligence. Avoid polarizing media. And it's one thing to consume one-sided media, but another to consume stuff that's straight up fake. Although this term has been largely made a joke, today it's more true and real than ever before. Deepfakes rule the internet meme world, and although the intention behind these fake audio files or videos is most likely for fun or harmless in nature, they unfortunately lead to misinformation. This is a fucking Wii game. If you've never been exposed to a deepfake, first you probably have and you just didn't know it. That's how good they are nowadays. But either way, it's just a video or audio file produced by deep learning techniques, hence the name deepfake. AI mimics the sound or footage of an authentic source, and they do make for some ridiculously funny videos of former presidents shitting on each other over a board game, but that's besides the point.
And don't pull a Sleepy Joe on me. Plus, it's a wheat port. All you have is a lousy bunch of rocks.
You wouldn't be able to comprehend the intricacies of my Catan strategy, Don.
I can hardly comprehend the words that come out of your damn mouth sometimes, Bush.
As AI-powered search engines and algorithms guide us on our journey through the social media vortex, now we can waste even more time on misinformation. Twitter, formerly known as X, has become the poster child of fake news and misinformation in recent history. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, he fired 80% of the workforce in an attempt to gut the fish and remove all sources of potential corruption. Now, we won't go into details, but for context, Twitter has been suspected of working directly with the FBI, a big happy family vibe, a writer said, to silence specific individuals, potentially violating the US Constitution and pushing absurd amounts of misinformation to the public in the recent past, but we won't examine any of that. That's for speculation, of course. We're here to look at the facts and how to help ourselves avoid consuming this fake news. During the 2016 election in the United States, the Knight Foundation found there were over 10 million tweets from 700,000 Twitter accounts linked to more than 600 fake and conspiracy news sites. Now, this is not to say that every single tweet or every single account was fake, but rather to show that fake news travels much faster than real news, usually due to its ridiculous and seemingly impossible nature. This is all to say that when consuming media, take it with a grain of salt. Don't be a slave to the world of social media and take everything at face value. It's good to be skeptical and do your own due diligence. To avoid deepfake consumption, here are some things to look at. Why am I even showing this? You're not going to look at it. Just know companies are working on better ways to identify fake media before you consume it to prevent future disasters like this or that from happening. Hey, on the bright side, at least AI is only stealing your time and your validity, right? Well, no. We all know that one friend, that person that just can't help themselves. One day he's saving for his next big investment, his first real estate property. Naturally, you're very impressed, but then the next day he tells you about some shitcoin that he's investing in that's gonna make him a millionaire, and he buys 4 new pairs of dress shoes when he already has 15. Albeit some of this due to an impulsive personality, but what makes this possible is targeted advertising. Remember, the more time you spend on apps, the more data about you and your previous behavior is collected. Unfortunately, no matter how secure you think your data is, I hate to break it to you, but it isn't. As an example, Instagram does not sell the data of its users, but it does share your data with third-party partners, such as advertisers and analytic companies. That way, you can be targeted as a potential customer by these third-party partners. Now, I'm not saying this is always a bad thing because sometimes it can be very beneficial. In any marketing strategy, it always starts with awareness, making the product known to potential customers. However, combine this with an impulsive personality and you get quite the costly social media vortex experience. In fact, 15% of Americans say they've purchased something out of their budget because they saw it on social media. Advertisers know the best times to push product ads at you because they know you. They know your behavior, the most common times a day that you scroll, the products and niches you're interested in, the kinds of people you follow. They know a lot about you. AI-powered algorithms make this possible. Also, everybody knows the pain of dealing with customer service. Well, according to a 2022 BCG survey of global customer service leaders, 95% expect their customers to be served by an AI bot at some point in their customer service interactions by 2025. This has its pros and cons, and albeit chatbots have become significantly more advanced than they used to be, so now they may actually be able to get you the information you need immediately just by typing up your question. Because we all know having to pick from a predetermined limited list of questions is really the main turnoff that customers have when dealing with chatbots. We like to speak with people because they have a better understanding of our needs and wants, at least for now. Whether you deem social media to be a happy or disappointing environment for you, it's no question that it will never be as authentic as it once was. Experts estimate that as much as 90% of online content may be synthetically generated by 2026. Synthetic meaning content manipulated or generated by AI. That's not to say all of this content will be fake news per se, but it certainly feels like it will be a little less genuine. Now, I want to reiterate, as a full-time engineer, AI has and will be revolutionary to the future of our world's technology. Whether that be improvements in video quality through NVIDIA's DLSS, full self-driving taxi fleets, personal virtual assistants that are available 24/7. Despite all of these fantastic advancements, there are a lot of features that hinder our abilities on a personal and practical level right now. The social media vortex is always there, simply sitting in your pocket, looking to suck up your time, feed you misinformation and fake news, and get you to spend your hard-earned money. I know when it came time to study for me at university or to prepare for tomorrow's work presentation, the phone was stored away, so there was no way I was stepping into the social media vortex. Until another fucking dream manhunt pops up on my phone. God damn it! I'll see you in the next one. Peace!